The modern spiritual self-help industry has a deep, unexamined obsession with willpower. We are bombarded with messages telling us to hustle, to crush our resistance, and to force our reality into alignment through sheer mental muscle. We treat the human will like an aggressive engine designed to override the body, suppress our natural impulses, and drag us across the finish line of our goals. But this textbook definition of will is not power. It is strain. The esoteric scholar Franz Hartmann drew a sharp, non-negotiable distinction between this localized personal will and what the Rosicrucian and theosophical lineages call alignment with the universal will. The personal will is driven entirely by the ego, by desire, fear, ambition, and the constant, exhausting need to prove something to the crowd. It is powerful in the short term, but it is fundamentally self-defeating in the long run. It spends all its capital fighting the natural current of existence. The Bhagavad Gita described this exact trap as action bound to ego and result, the precise mechanism that generates heavy karma and deep exhaustion rather than spiritual liberation. The human will is indeed a magical power, but only when it is purified of these frantic, selfish desires. True power does not force the river. It recognizes that it is the river. Retiring the persistent worker. Soul. When you try to run your life on raw willpower, you are defaulting to an exhausting spiritual posture, the persistent worker soul. This is an energetic picture carrying a lifetime of immense, relentless effort built to justify your right to exist. The worker soul tells you, I will fix this. I will heal this. I will carry this through sheer force of impact. It treats every spiritual breakthrough and every life milestone as a battle to be won through heavy lifting. But as your body eventually reminds you, overriding your organic pacing in the name of discipline is a shallow approximation of power. The Hermetic tradition pointed toward an alternative mechanism called the urge, the conscious alignment of the individual will with the divine intelligence that underlies all form. The ancients did not view the great architect as a distant god to be appeased with our struggles, but as the ordering principle of the cosmos itself. It is the logos, the rational fire running through all things. To align your space with this universal current is not submission. It is supreme seniority. It is the realization that your own authentic nature and the current of the universe are not two separate things. When you drop the egoic need to control the outcome, you enter what the master artists call mushin, the state of no mind where expression flows effortlessly and your energy moves like a river. The alchemical transition, true psychic development, is the process of transitioning your will from an outward-facing weapon into an inward-facing anchor. When you clear the center of your head, the sixth chakra, and sit firmly in your Eigenwelt, your own world perspective, you stop trying to manipulate the environment. You stop using your will to manage other people's pictures, expectations, or demands, Mitwelt energy. You stop forcing. You start perceiving. The moment you purify your will of the hunger to control, the base elements of your lower, reactive nature begin to transmute. You stop adapting your vibration to the frantic pace of the world and instead allow the world to adapt to the stillness of your space. You become an unstoppable force of nature, completely aligned with the field, creating a massive alternative for everyone else simply by existing. Weekly reading exercise, the Will Alignment Audit Pair. Up with a reading partner this week, or in your own clairvoyant meditation practice, use your tools of discerning and focus them on the difference between the true self and a dominant sub-personality. You can also ask these questions in a reading with a psychic. Book a session with me if you want to look at these things together. The forcing metric. Scan the third chakra, the solar plexus, and the first chakra. Look for the unique energetic signature of the persistent worker. Where is there a pattern of clenching, straining, or using raw mental muscle to force a mock-up or validate existence? The karma current. Look at the flow of energy between the outer aura lines and the universal field. Is the space fighting the natural current of existence? Identify any pictures stating that spiritual growth must be hard work to be valid. Healing focus. Give a clean, macro healing on the solar plexus and the seat of awareness. Help gently unhook any foreign demands, obligations, or societal panics, mitwelt clutter, telling the will it has to perform. Reset the chakras to the clear, quiet authority of the true self, allowing the frantic effort of control to drop away. One small step. The effortless pivot. The next time you find yourself clenching your jaw, pushing past your body's exhaustion, or trying to force a situation to resolve through sheer pressure, hit the pause button. Stop the physical or mental hustle for exactly 60 seconds. Step back into the quiet sanctuary of your own center. Drop the load. Notice the heavy, dense constriction of the worker posture in your shoulders or chest. Deliberately choose to put it down. If it's heavy, let it go. Pivot to the current. Ground your first chakra firmly into the earth. Turn your awareness inward and ask your space. What does the natural current of this moment want to do if I stop fighting it? Notice the instant return of vitality when you stop bleeding your energy into resistance. Journaling. Prompts for deep integration. The willpower. Myth. Where in your history did you learn the lie that your power is measured by how much suffering, struggle, or hard work you can endure? Who taught you that alignment has to feel like a battle? The control audit. Think of a specific project, relationship, or mock-up you are currently trying to force into existence. What fear or ambition is driving that personal will, and what happens if you allow the universe to handle the timing? The river transition. Gurdjieff warned against maintaining a false persona of perfect, rigid consistency. If you gave yourself permission to honor the fluid, periodic cycles of your own attention and macro seasons, what are you ready to stop forcing today? From insight to integration. A blog post can spark a revelation, but a practice builds a life. Information without practical application is just nice ideas and doesn't create meaningful growth and change. If the concepts of energetic anatomy, self-remembering, and dynamic boundaries resonate with you, let's take them off the screen and into your daily routine. Join a study group to access the complete library of tools, meditations, and techniques designed to help you run your own energy with absolute precision. Click here to learn more about upcoming study groups. For over 25 years, I have been driven by a single, uncompromising objective: to strip the illusion out of the unseen world and hand total energetic autonomy back to the individual. My work, both in high-fidelity private sessions and study groups, is to help build your own psychic capacity to interface with your lived experience cleanly, autonomously, and without dogma, using your inherent spiritual and intuitive gifts. Book a session.